Can you talk a little bit about that, the emergence of your, I don't know if you call it your third line, and specifically David Desharnais, who's done all his offense at 5-on-5, and how important that is?
Well, it's important to have a third line that can click. Often that's where the mismatch comes. The top two lines play against each other, and if you ever get ahead in that situation, you likely win. But the deal breaker, the game breaker, can often be that third line, and we're fortunate to have one now that seems to be producing. They have some chemistry. Desharnais is starting to fit in very well with the group, and certainly with those line mates that he has. And there's a nice mix. Desharnais, he's got the vision and the patience to hold on to the puck. Cass provides some physicality, and Pooh is going to the net now. So fortunate to have them.
Your top three lines look pretty set right now in what you want. Your fourth line with Letestu, and then a combination of different wingers, from experienced to physical guys to faster guys. Well, do you play them based on who the opponent's going to be moving forward?
We do, and also based on the games that they've given us. I think there's three factors that come in. One, we've got to keep players alive, and what I mean by that is we have to keep players engaged. We have to reward them for the work that they're doing in practice. We have a lot of bodies here right now, but that's something we chose to do. Two, we look at the opponent and the way they're going to play the game and how they're structured. And then three, based on performance. Some guys get an opportunity and they take the ball and they run with it for a little. Shlepyshev, I think, is a guy like that right now. He's played well his two games, and we've asked from those types of players to be consistent, to give us more than 2 or 3 games. And in Anton's case, he'll likely get another opportunity to build on what he's done, and we'd like to see that happen.
Drake Caggiula felt like he thought maybe he played one of his more intense games in a while, and you talked about that earlier, that you need that little edge from him. He had 5 shots in less than 10 minutes. Is that more the style you expect from him in that role?
I think so. Sometimes you can get comfortable and get lost in the shuffle, and Drake had a little reminder that there was probably more in his game and it wasn't coming out, and he brought it last night. Not only the shots, but he was physical against some size and some strength, but he's a very wiry guy that's strong on his feet, so he can use his body, although it's small, to be an effective player.
When your team scores that many goals in back-to-back games, what can that do for this group at this time of the year?
Well, it gets guys thinking that they haven't lost their touch. It reassures them that they're still doing things the right way offensively. But it's also an awareness of our group to park that game now. We talked about it after the Dallas game. Park it and move on. This one, another 7-goal game, we'll park it and we'll move on. But the confidence level from an offensive perspective should be a little higher now than it was maybe a week ago for a number of players.
Some of the guys after the game were talking about, let's not get caught up in thinking that we're going to be lighting teams up every night, and that don't forget about the nuts and bolts of being successful in the playoffs.
I'm glad that they're talking that way, because the Dallas game 7-1 felt like we had control of that game. Last night, having a lead, I don't know if we were in total control all the time, and good teams are in control when they get that type of lead. We're not going to outscore our mistakes. It's a lesson we learned early in the year, probably the first 7 or 8 games. We talked about that a lot, and we don't want to be learning that lesson now. What happens down the stretch and what happens in the secondary season, you don't often see teams putting up 7 or 8 goals. So we know we're going to be in a lot of tight ones.